Yeah. There's one thing which I see commonly between the Pakistani brothers. What they do is, you're Pakistani, right?
Yeah, exactly.
For the letter Qaf, you went full out. You went Qaf. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back to Quran Feedback, and walhamdulillah, today we have our brother Hamza. Introduce yourself, Akhi. Anything about yourself, what country you're from, or what part of the country you're from, your name, and anything interesting that you think about yourself.
Barakallahu feek, akhi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Hamza. I'm based very close to you, actually. Allahumma barik. I'm in Manchester, so not too far from yourself. There's not really much else to say. Alhamdulillah, I really love and support all of the work that you're doing with teaching Quran. It's something that we all really need today to improve our relationship with the Quran. And as I think you've mentioned before, such a beautiful hadith about the virtues of learning the Quran and teaching it. So, inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make your lessons a means to spread the knowledge of the Quran throughout the country and also, inshallah, internationally as well. Barakallahu feek.
Feek, barakallah. Ameen. Jazakumullah khair, akhi. And you guys can't see brother Hamza, but Hamza, he's a very bubbly person, likable character. And inshallah ta'ala, if you guys could ever go down to Manchester, always try to find Hamza. He's a person that you guys will not be disappointed to meet, subhanallah. Isn't that true, Akhi? Everyone seems to love you when they meet you.
You know what? If anyone ever does travel down to Manchester, please do get in touch with Brother Na'im, and we can. I'm happy to hang out with brothers anytime. So, barakallahu feek.
وفيك بارك الله وأنتم فجزاكم الله خير. Okay, تمام.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب أليم بما كانوا يكذبون.
How do you think it went, Akhi?
Decent. Okay. No. I'm not. My tajweed isn't great, so.
Allahumma barik. There are some nights. There were bits which I really enjoyed, and I did like listening to, because it was good tajweed. It was good. But there were a few things also which I could mention. for you, inshallah
Yes,
ta'ala,
please.
to improve on. We start off with the ta'awudh. A'udhu billahi minash shay. The letter sheen, it is a light letter, right? Light. Your one was a little bit heavy. So you said something along the lines of shy, right? Okay, so focus on the letter sheen. It's shy, light. That's the first thing. The second thing is the letter noon. Just trying to find out where it is. Okay, the letter noon with the fatha, if you look at ayah number 3, okay?
Yes.
الذين, you got it?
Yes,
Yeah.
الذين.
Yeah. The noon, these letter noon, you're making them heavy. So you were saying
Subhanallah.
الذين or يؤمنون ويقيمون. The letter noon with the fatha, you're making something heavy. Okay. The next thing, if we go to ayah number 4, وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ. يُؤْمِنُونَ, right? The ya has a dhamma. The dhamma we learn is what sound, akhi?
Ooh.
Good. Ooh. And not oh. When you recited this word, you said yo. So instead of saying you with the
You.
like that, great. But you said yo. But the strange thing is, in other places when the dhamma came, you were saying ooh. For example, hudal and not hodal. You were saying ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ instead of kitab. So you were doing it correctly in places. I think here it was just lack of attention and you didn't think about it. But in general, you knew the dhamma. But in these two words specifically, yu'minuna, where it appeared twice, you just lacked a little bit there.
Jazakallah khair.
وأنتم فجزاكم الله خيرا. Ayah number 4. So, and this was a common theme. So this one, inshallah, try keep it in your head. It was the way you are stopping. So at the bottom it says min qablika, right? Found it?
نعم.
Yeah.
من قبلك.
Now, what you did was you did the following. You said min qablika wa bil akhirati. You read the kaf and you also took a stop, or you pause momentarily. You either stop min qablik wa bil akhirah, or you say min qablika wa bil akhirah. Make sense?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
You can't take that pause after the kaf if you decide to continue. So you decided to continue, but you also took the pause. Now, next inshallah ta'ala, ayah number 6. Look at the fourth word. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ. The dhammatain again. The dhamma, it appeared again. Instead of saying you said sawa'un. Dhamma un. Sawa'un alayhim. Again, don't stretch it, not alayhim, but sawa'un alayhim instead of Great.
That makes a lot of sense.
Barakallahu feek. Next one is the letter, or is the word rather, in ayah number 7, and it says وَعَلَى سَمْعِهِمْ, the kasra now. So first we mentioned the dhamma, now it's the kasra. The kasra is the sound what? E, good. And this is the part which I like. In a lot of places you were saying E and it sounded really nice. For example, you were saying bil yawmil and it sounded really good. But here in this word, sam'ihim, you said sam'ihim, sam'ih. You said
Sam'ihim. Makes sense.
Rather, it's meant to be sam'ihim, rihim. Na'am. And again, that was like a 50-50 one. Sometimes you're doing it really well and it sounded really nice. But other times, like in this word, you were saying so that wasn't the best.
Inshallah, we're going to improve, inshallah.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Next, by the way, I'm mentioning all these things, but if you could see, some of them, they just repeat themselves. For example, the fatha, the dhamma repeats itself, the kasra is repeating itself, you're making letters a bit heavy, which you weren't meant to make heavy. And the next one is, instead of making a light letter heavy, you made a heavy letter light. If we go to, again, we're still in ayah number 7, the last word, azim, the letter dha is heavy. You said it with a
Yeah.
dhal. You said azim. Azim. You said it with a dhal. So you made it light. Try focus, inshallah. And it is a little bit harder with the kasra and the heavy letters to say azim, make it heavy. But inshallah, practice, inshallah. 10. The beginning, في قلوبهم مرض. The letter ra. Letter ra here is meant to be heavy. You made it light. So instead of saying mara, you said mara.
Ra.
Good. Just like that, that's correct. And then also in ayah number 10, if we look at the word, but again, this is that you at the end when I told you to stop, I need to write it down so I don't forget. I've written it down, but I've forgotten it as well. So the word is, if you look at the word, it's the very next word, فَزَادَهُمُ. Okay, I remember. Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah. So if you look at that word, فَزَادَهُمُ. On the ha, you said فَزَادَهَمُ. So you changed the dhamma into a fatha. Now that happens just here and there, general mistakes. So just focus on that. It'll be a little bit more, because throughout the entire recitation, all the harakat were correct. The fatha, you said fatha, kasra, you said kasra. It was only this one. It was a fatha, and so it was a dhamma, and you said fatha. So instead of saying fazadahu, you said fazadaha. Either that or, and I hope it's not this one, you tried to say dhamma, but your dhamma sounded like a fatha.
No, you just helped me catch that out. Now I didn't realise that I was doing that. Jazakallah khair. Because I just noticed that I probably have done that every time. Fazadahumullahu marada. No, this makes sense.
Barakallah.
Barakallahu feek.
Feek barakallah. Before I let you go, is there anything you want to say regarding the Quran? The floor is yours.
There's nothing really else I think I have to say other than repeating what I said in the beginning. Allahumma barik. It's such a great initiative, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us success in everything that which pleases Him. Ameen.
Barakallah. I said the Quran, and you speak about me. May Allah honor you in this life and the next Akhil Kareem. Subhanallah. Okay.
Ameen, and you. Barakallah feek.
Wa feeka barakallah. Inshallah, come down inshallah whenever you can, or come up. Is it up? It's up, right? Come up to all the inshallah whenever you can.
Inshallah.
Yeah, but I know it's hard for you traveling and whatnot, so don't stress. But if you can, whenever you can, then definitely come. We're missing you here. We want to see you, inshallah ta'ala. Right,
inshallah. Barakallahu feek, akhi.
Wa feeka barakallah. We'll end it there, and until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum. They say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert in a field. Let's be honest, not everybody has 10,000 hours to spend. In a fast-paced environment where everything in the world is moving quickly, we need something to counter this. Quran made easy is exactly that. It's Quran which has been made easy. The rules of tajweed in an easy to understand way without leaving anything off. I can't guarantee that you will be an expert by the end of the course. I mean, it is only 3 hours, but nonetheless, it is full of jam-packed and bite-sized lessons, all in an easy manner to understand. Let's be real here. If one understands these concepts fully, then who says they can't be an expert? A study shows that 80% or more than 80% of imams are reciting the Quran without implementing these rules. Imagine leading the people in the prayer and you aren't reciting the Quran correctly. It's not that these rules are complicated, rather the opposite. They are very easy to understand, but the Muslims have decided to neglect the Quran. Let us revive the beauty of Quran recitation once again. Hopefully this comprehensive course will give us the tools which we need to achieve that goal. I hope to see you guys on the other side. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.